What's good, YouTube family? It's your girl Raven.
And your boy Jalen.
Today we are finally
Well, let's not say finally as if this has been out, alright? You guys did what you had to do.
You take it away then.
They did what they had to do. They got 100 likes.
Yes, they did.
So?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, you want me to finish? So we are watching the first episode of the podcast today. We were watching episode 1, Life as Triplets. Right? That's exciting. We were waiting forever for this to come out. So finally here, it's about time. Thank you guys for watching and checking us out. And if you guys are new, welcome to our channel. Like we said, Rae Jae and our beautiful little doggy Chico behind us, who's being a pain in the booty, but it's fine. If you guys like our content, please check us out. Hit that like, comment down what other videos you got for us to react to, or just something that piques your interest. And please check out our socials. We have our Instagram and our TikToks in the description down below.
And I'm not gonna lie, I got a little worried earlier today because I didn't know what was happening with the video because it didn't get posted, but the audio part was getting posted. So I was like, oh snap, like, is it just the audio? But I was like, no, it can't be the audio because they're filming it. We're seeing all this trailer footage and all that stuff. So I did get a little bit worried earlier today. But luckily, they dropped the video at around 5. They had dropped the audio like earlier in the day. So we do have the video. Let's get it, man. Let's
get your snacks, get your drinks, everything. Let's go.
Good morning, campers. Welcome to the Cut the Camera podcast. I am Nicholas Sterniolo. I am Matt. I'm Chris. And we are together with Chris. Triplets. And this is our podcast, the Cut the Camera podcast. Today we are going to be talking about the life as triplets. I feel like that's like been the #1 staple in our life. It is the perfect way to segue into a podcast as existing content creators because, you know, it's the truth. We all know it in and out really well. And that's going to be the topic.
Nice.
I love
the
the
camera
room.
being the podcast theme and just life behind camera and whatnot. This is a good, good topic for new viewers that are curious about what it is like as triplets. Yeah. And our other viewers from our other channel that are existing that want to know deeper about who we are. And yeah, we're starting it off as if the #1 question is who the fuck are those guys? Yes. And here's our answer. Welcome to that. First topic, we are going to be talking about just simply looking alike and what that means for you, Chris. For me, like looking alike, what is that about being a triplet? Like we look alike. That's like the #1 thing in my mind. They're like, oh, what is it like being a triplet is the overall question. And then I feel like looking alike our entire childhood and our entire life has led us to like so many different things.
Matt's like,
I agree. You know what I mean? Fully. I feel
Chico
like
love.
honestly,
please.
Come in, buddy.
Please. I know you're lonely, but doing too much right now.
There you go.
Sorry, guys.
no, I feel like we don't look alike.
Not
Like,
as...
just for me personally, growing up with you guys for 19 years now, almost 20, which makes me want to hurl. Like I feel so old. But like
You don't even
like
know.
when us three are together, I literally can like pinpoint the exact differences between us.
Well,
and I think that people people are always like, you look so much alike, but that's someone who says that is someone who's known us for literally like 24 hours. Like even our viewers, I don't think have ever had a problem with telling us apart. I think that like meeting new people, they're always like, oh my god, who's who? But I think genuinely spending one day with us, you'll be able to tell the difference.
Early on, I couldn't really tell, but really between Matt and Chris. But now I can distinctly tell who's who.
100%.
Really
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
People also don't understand that like our odds on telling each other apart are like significantly higher. People get confused that like we know who each other are. Like, I remember tell your brothers apart. I remember someone literally asking me, like, how do you tell your brothers apart? And I'm like, well, my odds are 50-50 and everyone else's are 33-33-33. Yeah, your odds are 50-50 and you've known the other two for about 19 years. And I know myself. Like, I could tell you guys apart by, like, with my eyes shut how fast you walk down the flight of stairs. Yeah, but I've also, another thing that's crazy is we're literally triplet siblings and people say we look like all the time. But I've seen literal, like, pairs of best friends that look more alike than we do to each other. I agree, you know?
Anyways,
Yeah.
Bring us to something. Okay, I think, with looking like that topic, I wrote down one of the funny experiences that I think growing up, looking like affected, like, I don't know what I'm saying here, but just like, just funny stories, like one time in the kitchen, if our mom is making dinner, and Nick's in the living room, and she's making me dinner. So she's making me SpaghettiOs, right? I love SpaghettiOs as a kid. Weirdo.
Me too. I love
roast
SpaghettiOs.
And
Did.
imagine
Who didn't?
she finishes cooking the SpaghettiOs. I'm standing right next to her, and she screams, "Matt, come get your SpaghettiOs!" But I'm right there. It's like,
Dang.
it's like I'm already
It's just
here
so funny.
with the
Dude,
SpaghettiOs.
with mom and dad, it's so different because they know us like apart
Yeah.
so well. But God help them. Like with mom, especially, like I could be right next to mom and she's just gonna list every other kid but
Well, I
me.
think that's like that's like just having kids in general.
But you see, you could tell like the quality with the microphone.
Yeah.
Like just when it's designed for you.
We need an upgrade, y'all.
You.
It's coming.
It is coming. But that'll be later on down the road. But these aren't the only mics. Like there are significantly higher mics quality.
I believe it.
But yeah, these are like the podcaster mic.
Okay,
But
these are the ones we keep seeing.
yes, oh yeah. Podcasters love it. But to talk about this, I think it's funny when people ask like, "Oh, how do you know your brother from each other?" Like, I know these like every day I see them. Of course, I'm gonna.
I was gonna say because
you learn so much about them. Okay, of course, when you're young, you're not gonna know who's who. Like you're gonna
I
be
feel like
messed
that
up a
would
little
be
bit.
easy.
But as you get older, you're gonna be like, "Oh, Matt. Oh, Chris." Like you know, and especially with the walk speed, like I know who's coming up and down the stairs.
Oh yes, I do too.
I exactly know, and that is one of the crazy things. Like just knowing people's walk patterns and just knowing that it doesn't really change.
You got
It's
the
like
heavy foot people.
yes, for no reason sometimes.
Heavy foot people for
No
but
reason.
It's whatever.
And then cursive, like how you write your name. Like
gently and smooth.
yes, some people can keep it very close to each other, and then sometimes it's all over the place. Like yeah.
We got you. I got you.
Like mom called. I was on the phone with mom the other day, and we were talking for a half hour, and she was walking our dog, and then she went into the house, and she was on the phone with me here in LA, and she was like, "Come on, Nick, come on," and I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And she's like, "Trevor, like, won't go inside," and I'm like, "Well, you're calling him my name, so no wonder he's not going in the house."
Or when she calls you the dog.
Yeah,
The other way around.
What?
You know,
That's
I love
crazy.
Mom.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
funny.
that's just
I feel,
so funny.
Another thing is like, bro, every single time we get noticed in public, like not by our fans, by like legitimate strangers, I feel like they never say like, "Oh, are you guys triplets?" It's always twins.
It's always twins, because
which is so weird to me.
I feel
It's
like
like, bro,
people-
it's obvious we're
I
not
feel
twins.
like people like they always ask, "Oh, are you two twins?" instead of like straight up like, "Oh, are you guys triplets?" Because it's way more reasonable that there's twins. But like triplets just seems too unreasonable to like.
It's so
assume.
funny, bro. Like
You don't
feel
really
like
see
they
that
literally look
anymore.
At all three of us, and be like, "Oh my god, you guys are twins."
Yeah, but I also
No.
you can also tell like it's 100% like the reasonable thing. Like they definitely ask if there's twins simply because it's more reasonable. Because I see people look at us and know that we're triplets and want to ask it, but they just seem like you can see that they will feel stupid asking if we're triplets out loud just because of the odds are so low.
Yeah, and I think that was also like a really funny part of like just like being in public all the time and like being
I knew
seen as us
triplets.
three like walking through places because
I
like
did.
the other day when we were going to Boa and we saw the twins get out of the car and you were like, "Oh my god, twins." No, that shit threw me off because they were in the car in front of us and this dude gets out and he's driving the car and then someone dressed exactly like him gets out on the passenger side of the car. And I thought like I was tripping because I thought that the dude had like gotten out and then like ran around the car and like got out again. So that's why I was just confused. It's funny because like that was like the first time that we saw twins and like you were like, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And like, you don't realize that like every day walking through like Target or just going out in public, people must always look at us like, "Holy shit!" Like, there's three of the same person right there.
Damn,
Imagine
yeah.
if dressed alike head to toe.
That's
No.
crazy.
I don't
Please
wanna
don't.
imagine that.
They got to do it one
My
time
mom
at
is
least.
so good at like separating. I almost said it
Yeah,
with
my
a
mom
B.
separated us really,
Separating
really well
us.
with like she gave us specific colors, which ironically are either our like favorite or least favorite colors like to this day.
Yeah.
Like my mom kind of assigned us colors. Like our mom was really, really good at keeping us individuals right away because
Yeah.
like another thing that's crazy is like when you have triplet kids, like when we were younger, we looked exactly the same.
Exactly.
Bro.
Mm.
Like, we
The
always
triple
had, like, the
decker
same-
stroller was crazy.
Yeah,
That's like
that's like
important years of who shit.
Yeah,
bro.
exactly.
Like,
my
you
mom
see
used
that
to
in the
have my mom
Grinch.
used to like get us clothes or like I feel like it was like sometimes like her friends like who were just like so amazed that she had triplets like getting her gifts. We had a lot of clothes with our names on them. Like I
Yeah,
had like
I feel like-
shirts with like it said Nick, like mix
Yeah,
To
up.
identify.
and kiddo.
Okay.
Every single shirt that we had our names on it.
Yeah.
It was so
Wow.
That shit was
really,
really
classic,
great.
bro. I love it, honestly. I think it was hard.
I do too.
No, I
love
The
those.
built-in
That's
name
actually
on
pretty
the
cool.
shirt, I
Mhm.
That's
thought
actually
was,
pretty
like,
cool.
Absolutely top tier when we were children. But anyways, we're gonna move on. We're gonna talk about things we hate about being triplets.
Wow.
Dang,
Really
that's a
taking
turn.
dark turn.
Yeah.
Is there anything they
You know
wanna
what's
say?
I'm on
funny?
your timing.
Like in car videos, they're so all over the place. Like they'll stay on one subject, but they're doing a really good job at like just moving on from the next one.
You can
This
just
is
see
really interesting.
you can just see the growth and maturity level of them now compared to when they first started.
Yeah,
So
of course.
it's nice seeing them on like a more personal level.
Right.
Cause like we'll see them personal, but like they're more goofy because that's what we want to see. But here, like this is them.
Perfect. Like they're
Talking.
they're really talking. And it's not that there's a problem with them being all over the place in
No,
the car
of
video,
course.
because that's
That's
actually
what we love.
that's what makes it the car video that it is. Like, you come to watch the car videos to see how crazy and chaotic they can get, or just how heartfelt they can get. You never know what you're gonna get, and I think that's what I love about the car video, because you never know what's gonna happen.
A box of chocolates.
Within those 10 to 30 minutes, you have no idea what's gonna happen. So
No,
it's
this
awesome.
This is nice. I can hear they're like talking in my ear. It's
yeah,
kind of weird.
it's clean. It's very clean.
Started off with.
I feel like instantly you just gotta think of like the cringy, corny nicknames, bro.
Yeah. Trips.
Trips is a nightmare.
The triplets.
That's
No, the
actually
triplets is normal.
Just
one
gonna
of
have
my
to
favorite
sit
things.
behind you.
Yeah.
I
No,
feel
I think that it's just like the Three Musketeers. Like,
Mhm.
oh,
Oh.
your favorite candy bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had way too many people
What's your favorite candy
who are
bar?
expecting us to
Say
say
like Three Musketeers.
I don't even know who those fuckers are.
Who them are.
Who
True.
are the Three Musketeers?
The joke is
That's
that we
are them, Nick.
But like my thing is they're referencing back to the Three Musketeers.
The
I don't even know
film.
who
They're
they are.
referencing back to a candy bar.
Like
No,
not.
It's
Wait,
like actual
so is the
people.
candy bar about
I don't know. That
I don't.
really
I don't
confused.
think so.
There was a movie about the Three Musketeers. There's books on the Three Musketeers. Like they're people. It was
Oh.
like three. There are three of them was like those really thin, long swords back in the day.
To be honest, I couldn't even name one musketeer. To be honest with
Couldn't
you,
even. But didn't they? I feel like they wore masks. But I
they
don't
may
know.
have.
That just shows
I'm
you
not
my
sure.
age. Chico,
Yeah.
love, you cannot stay still for the
No,
life of
he
you,
can't.
love.
He can't.
I'm just trying to relax, baby.
He can't.
But there's that, and then there's the candy bar. So I understand. That must get old after a while.
Yeah, and you hear it all the time. Oh,
It's like,
Ha
ha
ha. What's your favorite candy, huh? You like Three Musketeers? Cause you get it? Your triplets?
Yeah.
Ha
That's
ha.
annoying. I would get so annoyed. I'd be like, piss off.
I'd be the same way. Piss off. Wow.
off. I can't say it.
You've been doing a lot of UK talking, huh? A lot of UK slang.
They're like,
Yes,
Larry,
Three
Curly,
Stooges.
Oh, the Three
my
Stooges.
God.
Wait,
No,
wait,
what's
are you
Mo?
Mo? Are you?
Yeah, that was
I'm just
so
like,
lame.
oh no, Matt's Mo, Matt Mo, Chris Curly.
Oh, you gotta change your name to Larry or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Oh, you get like. Oh, so you're gonna
Okay.
change
Are
your
you-
name
are
to
you
Larry
Lucas
or something? It's like no, just.
Bro,
I think
No.
another thing that I really didn't like about being triplets was being treated as the same person.
yeah.
Like
Oh,
I feel like people will
it's
often
terrible.
just be like across the board for every single subject ever, like people genuinely think that if like Chris is wearing a black shirt that I need to wear a black
Yeah.
shirt. Or
Yeah,
I also
it's-
feel like the once me and Nick started getting tattoos and it's just like, what's your next one gonna be? Your name on your forehead? Yeah, like terrible.
Oh,
I think
wow.
One of the worst things about actually being triplets is honestly the bad jokes that come along with it.
terrible.
Like
And like it's funny because it's like
the only three people that are gonna think that these are corny are us three because it's like
Yeah.
everyone else thinks it's
so funny.
The thing that's bad, or not the thing that's bad, but the thing that's funny about it is every single person growing up that said we should have our name tattooed on our forehead or like wear name tags or something, they all thought they were the first one ever making
I was
that
about
joke.
to say,
Mm.
do you
Like,
think that
They really thought they were the first person
No,
to say that.
they
fully thought they were like, oh my god, this is like
Like, do you know how many
unique
times
and
I've been asked
new.
in my whole life if I knew who the Three Stooges were? Like, probably
Oh,
more than
oh my god.
how are you? I've heard.
Yeah.
Do you know the fucking Three Stooges? Whatever the fuck.
I've
it
never
is.
seen an episode of it.
Also,
but
another
Me
thing
either.
that I hated
It was
about
a
being
movie,
triplets
too.
that
I know.
I guess hate because it kind of is happening. I don't like the word hate. Okay,
Dislike.
Yeah, one thing I disliked about being triplets, or it was difficult when we were younger, is like automatically being three people. Where like if we had a friend, right? I remember like genuinely being like,
not invited to shit because we were triplets, where like kids would have like a birthday party and their parents would be like, oh, you can bring like 8 people to like this dinner or whatever.
Oh, so they would.
Chris are already 3 people, so even if the person was all of our friends, sometimes I felt like it was kind of like the person felt like if they were picking us for like 3 of the people to bring to their birthday party.
Okay.
Since the 3 of us came together and there was like no
room
picking and
wiggle,
choosing, it kind of just seemed like too much. So people would just be like, no, I'm not gonna.
Damn.
Do you know what I mean? Or does
I
that
do
sound
know what
crazy?
you mean. It's like if you have like a birthday party that's 5 slots and that you invite us 3, you have literally
you have
2 slots left.
Or another thing, like, we had a minivan our entire life, and like my mom used to drive us places, and like I feel like me, Matt, and Chris were always kind of like the house you'd go to hanging out, or like the mom that would drive would be our mom, and it was because like all of our friends had like cars that fit 5 people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we had like this massive minivan where it's like if you were hanging out with us after school, say like Matt made a plan with a friend after school and Chris made a plan with a friend after school, that's 5 people already, just because we're already starting at 3. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was kind of just the constant thing I'm kind of reverting back to the other topic real quick because I think I have one more funny thing that I want to say. But I think like the most annoying thing that I would get asked growing up would be like if one of us, like, none of us really ever got like visible injuries when we were little, like broken arm or broke a leg. But like, oh, when you stubbed your toe, did he feel it?
Oh my.
Like if I punched,
come on.
Like if I punched you in the arm, would he?
It's
like,
crazy
bro.
that people ask that with expecting a genuine response,
bro.
Like
I think a lot of questions people ask with like wanting a for real response.
I remember
like wow, like dude, it's like maybe ask that question yourself in the mirror and just take a look at how fucking stupid you sound.
He's not lying though. Like I remember that used to go around, especially it wasn't even just triplets, like twins. Like, oh, if I did punch you, like, is he gonna feel it? Or if you're, doing...
Are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking? Like telekinesis type of thing? Like, is it telekinesis? Or telepathy? Or telepathy, not telekinesis. Telepathy, where they're thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
That's what I meant to say.
And, they would also think, when it came to the sexual aspect, oh, like, if you're doing it, like, if you're wanking off, is he or she...
Yeah, that's just a weird speculation. That's not... realistic. Like, our nerves are not connected unless you're a Siamese twin,
right,
or something like
that's
that.
A little different.
I don't know how you're gonna feel the other person's emotions, as they were saying, like as Nick was saying, like everybody is their own person,
right,
has their own personality. So I don't think they would feel the same.
And I do remember Nick saying, and they all agreed at one point, I believe it was a car video, he had said that if one of them was down, they all felt that.
Yeah, and like they were empathic. There's a word.
Empathetic?
That might be the correct way to say it. But when someone feels a certain emotion and you can sense that, and then you start to feel
it brings you down. Yeah.
So yeah, the terminology is there. Empathic. I think. I don't know how it's pronounced.
With people
it's alright. It's alright.
Yeah. Oh, can you read each other's mind? I'm like, oh yeah. Like, when Nick's upset, like, far away, I can, like, feel it. Like, I know he's upset. I feel like it is kind of true, though. That part is actually true.
Yeah, and here it is.
Just kind of... No, but, like...
no, I don't know.
On, like, some levels, we did exaggerate.
No, I feel like if you guys are, like, really, like, at an all-time low, deep down, we could be, like, 1,000,000 miles apart, and I think I'd sense it. I think I'd feel it. That's deep. We should honestly test it, bro. What am I gonna do?
We should, I don't know how we're gonna do that.
We should separate for, like, a week, and then, like... one of the days plan to have the worst day ever.
But like you can't really we should do the opposite. Like you sit in like dormant for 6 days and then randomly out of the week one day like you have like a surprise party thrown for you and do like the best day ever.
What?
Like I don't know. Okay, and you have to crazy. You have to try and sense the joy.
I feel like the worst is the you guys should like shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You guys should get your names tattooed on your forehead. You guys should like like what are the worst like you guys should ones?
I like the way that
switch places and confuse people.
Bro.
Yeah, that one's awful.
I don't want to. Let's just switch to what we actually do enjoy about being triplets instead of what we hate about it.
Yeah, let's bring a more positive light. I say built-in friends.
Oh.
Like, like there's kind of like
that's beautiful.
I feel like with like sleepovers and stuff, when people are like, oh, I want to have like a sleepover with my friend, it's like people would always try and like
get wrecked nerd. I do it every day.
Being an only child is like a crazy thing to me because it's like literally like an only child to be like, oh, they have a sleepover with their friend, and that like must seem like some crazy thing, because it probably happens once every like 2 weeks. Where for us, it was like sleepovers were happening every single night that like the three of us decided to sleep in the same room. That's true. Which was pretty much every single
That's
night.
fun.
Yeah, true that. But like I think we still got like the same excitement if we had like Nate sleepover, us sleepover.
Well, I don't think
Nate's.
we had our first sleepover with like legit friends until we were in like 8th grade.
Yeah.
Or 6th grade.
Yeah, the fact that we never had to play like Mario Kart alone.
That was huge, dude. Like absolutely.
Really,
That's a
like,
vibe. That's nice.
Absolutely major. Like
Major.
so amazing. Imagine like actually put yourself in this scenario. Okay. After school, you walked home alone. You're bored. You didn't make plans with any friends, and you go to your Wii system and put Mario Brothers in.
Just
Mario Kart in, and you play
Against
versus
11
computers, and you race them, trying to get first place.
That's
As a single child, I didn't have a Wii system, but I had like PlayStation and Xbox. I can relate to this, but the one thing that I will say is I learned to enjoy that kind of thing, because what I used to do, I used to play like campaign story-based games, so like Uncharted, God of War, like just really story-based games, so it wasn't feeling like I was missing out on action too much, or you know, if I felt like the campaign was too much or I just didn't care about it, I would go and play Call of Duty, because I could just get on a line or whatever, and I could play with friends online, because the way that I grew up, luckily enough for me and my friends were always on, you know, 5 out of the 7 days a week, or all 7 days of the week we were all on after school or after practice, whatever. But I can relate to like, I can't even relate to walking home alone, because we would all walk home together as well. So I was kind of one of those single childs that didn't experience the walking home alone or queuing up Mario Kart by yourself. But I still was able to feel that lone wolf type of vibe.
You've always been a lone wolf.
Always, of course. I mean, that's just comes with the territory. But yeah.
I understand. But at least that's good that they always had somebody to play with. Because I know there's a lot of people that, I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't.
Or wish they could have that opportunity. Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's all right. And the sleepover thing, like,
I never had sleepovers like that.
We had sleepovers on the block.
I wish.
What's the fun in playing Mario Kart completely alone?
Yeah. It was just like, also just like Fortnite duos, Fortnite trios.
I feel like most...
You gotta talk into the mic and louder.
Fortnite duos, Fortnite trios. I feel
There
like
you go.
90%,
So fun.
90% of activities are more fun. I almost just said funner. That's a crazy thing.
Is
I
that
think
not a
even being
word?
able to
Oh.
just walk in the backyard and play catch if we wanted to. Yeah, I
Oh
agree.
my god. Or like basketball, bro. I
Yes.
love basketball.
I hate basketball.
I love
That's why I
basketball.
literally could not care less about the
I feel
ability
like
to play
you
basketball.
played basketball with us growing up though. Like
Yeah, I
you
don't know what I
enjoyed-
was doing.
Yeah, but
Dude, it
you're
was fun.
like it's fun.
For you.
No,
You
had
I
fun.
remember,
You
like,
definitely
oh
had
my
fun.
god, I remember.
I
I'm
remember
not
Nick
even gonna
Euro
say.
stepping in the
I'm
video.
not gonna say you. But we used to play basketball with someone that used to be the most annoying person ever and like dribble every single time. Like it was some random.
That's what you
it
do.
was, no. It was someone like that no one on the internet knows. Like it was just like a.
I
a
know who you're
figment of my
talking about.
imagination.
Yeah,
I don't want to talk about him, but it was like we were like legit 8, and it was like our neighborhood friend that like I don't think we've ever. I don't even remember shit, but. We used to play like knockout, and when you go to like the free throw line, you're supposed to shoot the ball, but they dribble it like 10 times to like focus or like.
Oh my god! See, when you do that in a game of knockout, you're annoying. Because all right, so in the NBA, a lot of free throw shooters have, everyone for the most part has their ritual before they shoot the ball.
No,
So
of
maybe
course.
it's dribble once, twice, shake your shoulders, roll your shoulders, spin the ball. So if you were doing that in just an outdoor game of knockout, you are annoying.
I know what you're talking
You're
about. 'Cause I've seen the games.
Yeah, and what Steph would do, put his mouth guard to his side, like that's his free throw ritual. He'll put it to you're annoying if you were one of those. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, like shoot the ball.
Yes, just shoot the
I
ball.
hate people that
People
dribble in
NBA.
basketball. No, like that wasn't my point.
Okay, but whatever.
Never being alone.
Yeah, that's huge.
I
Yeah.
feel like
It's like bro, if you're gonna go walk to a convenience store at 1 a.m. to get candy, you're not gonna want to do it alone. I guess
Mhm.
like, the fact that we were open, like you always have that friend that like is like, oh like, fuck it, let's just do it type shit.
I think
with
one of my
us.
favorite things is about like monitoring or being able to like really like proofread or peer read. I don't know how to say it correctly, but I think of like when like a girl is in like an argument with her boyfriend, right? And like there's like that ongoing joke that like the girl will like screenshot the text or like take a photo of it on her iPad and send it to a group chat of like 10 people, and like all of her friends will like tell her what to reply. Where it's like when any scenario that we were in ever, if we were like texting somebody, if we were calling somebody, anytime we were like doing anything, there was always like peer revision like right there. Like,
Yeah.
I've never had like those
Yeah, I
group
didn't.
chat
Yeah, I can't
scenarios,
relate.
You had the support system. Sorry, I know we're pausing a lot. It's like you have the support system right there,
Right.
rather than going to people who don't know you as well as other
Right.
people.
Like for me, I wish I did have like a brother or sis that may have went through the situation, or someone that just has a fresh pair of eyes, a fresh mind to the situation that could have helped me through some of my situationships or everything that I was going through, especially getting over them as well. And I think that's what's great about having a sibling. It's just someone that could be there for you in your darkest hours. Because, mom and dad, yeah, of course. But I feel like when you have that sibling that's just always there for you, always had your back, no matter what. You guys been through it all. Like that's your
That's your support.
that's your teammate for real. Like
It's a ride or
you
die.
you against mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? But yeah.
like
I feel
very
like the three of
balanced
us-
out
but
as
it's, it's just like
yeah.
having a friend group that you can actually 100% trust.
Yes.
And
And literally
Mm.
access at any time of day, any
Yeah,
time of night.
yeah.
Like if I even like posting something,
And
like, on
especially when
Instagram,
you're
I'll be
more
like, oh, I gotta run this by
dramatic
someone.
about things.
Oh,
It tends to me and Chris tend to
no, because
keep you in
my
line. Yes.
initial reaction, like I have to say, like forget about our car videos. Our car videos are very like if you guys are here for the first time, you don't know who we are. We film a lot of content like in the car, joking around with each other, and a lot of the time I go on like random tangents and I will yell about a bunch of like nonsense. But for me, that's very much like I want people to like forget about what they know about us, but it also like our roles in the content we already create is so like loosely based off of like our real life, if that makes sense. I think
it's
I
not
think the
like
car videos are
dramatized versions of who we are for that content in a sense.
I agree. And
Well, I feel like that's like
not like
it's like also
like
not true, but it's like
played up a
'cause
little bit.
what I think it is like the car videos is who we
Fight for that,
are
Chris.
and what we did. I mean, what we do. But it's just a matter of like the timing of it. Like when you're alone with your 3 brothers at fucking 1 a.m. in a parking lot eating McDonald's, and you're exhausted, you're tired, you're funny, you're like delusional. Like,
Yes,
you're
oh
bound
my-
to say some dumb
Dude,
shit.
all right. Dude,
I feel like that's me all the time.
bro.
I say some stupid stuff for no reason, so that's
What Chris is saying here about being delusional at night is
Yeah.
no joke.
no. It's
I
not.
remember me and my group of friends, we'd be on PlayStation, either playing 2K, Call of Duty, whatever it is, and there'll be times where we kind of break off. Like we'll all be playing that one game that we'll break off. Either we're just sitting there chilling on the microphone talking, or one person is playing this game mode, one person is playing this game mode. But we used to call it PlayStation night vibes because we used to get stupid at like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, like just absolutely delusional, just saying whatever came to the mind. And
It's
that was
scary
like
hours.
it was scary hours, but it was also the funniest hours too. A lot of legendary stuff that I can't even remember, which is sad, but I know of those moments.
Yeah, of
and
course.
those moments will forever be in my heart because those were just some of the funniest days that we've had. The party chat, man.
Shit
He's
that,
right.
like, you wouldn't say when you wake up at fucking
Exactly.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I feel like that's like a thing is like whenever we're with people like at like 3 o'clock during the day or like just hanging out like with a group of people, they expect us to make like us
Stupid
3 to start
jokes.
freaking out and make like a ton of jokes, and it's like,
But
like,
that's
we-
kind
this
of
is-
why.
like that.
There's a time and place.
Yes.
Truly, how our conversations at night went before
Yeah.
we did
But that's
that.
why I want like everyone who, if you're here for the first time, welcome. And if you're here as a returning viewer from like content we used to create, I want whoever's watching to forget everything they could possibly know about the Sterniola triplets and really just prepare themselves for like a new version of us.
Oh wow!
Wasn't I telling you? Wait till they get bigger.
You did.
And they're gonna revamp, and they're gonna start changing things. Things is gonna become a little bit different. The production's gonna like.
I'm ready for that for us. So that's coming.
What's gonna be sad is when they end up stopping.
Stop! I don't even want to think about
the car videos.
I don't even want to think about that. That's what y'all really put us on. Was
yes,
their
it
car
was.
videos.
Yo, if it wasn't for the car videos. We would have never knew about the Sterniola triplets because our algorithms were not heading in that direction and they weren't aligned. So we would have never, until they got bigger or something really viral just happened, like a sound or something, and that's how we would have found them.
Interesting. Well, now with Chris, like I said, Chris being on stage with Little Skies, kind of exposes him a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit more to like the world and just, you know, it puts him in a different kind of light for a little bit. But yeah, no, that's
I love this for them.
Yeah, no, listen, it's always good to like jump into different content and be on different levels, but I know eventually all good things come to an end. Yeah. And I pray and hope that they don't ever end the car videos because like I said, it just adds like that what you want. It's that sprinkle of just randomness that you don't know what you're going to get. But all good things all good things come to an end, but I hope they don't. And if they do, like if they stop being consistent with it, I hope that every once in a while, you know, they'll come back. Like, all right, May we doing a car video, but then June we don't come back, whatever. But, you know.
This is like 100% like us speaking our truths and like being authentic like in a real life scenario and not like joking around silly goofy. Fully agreed. And what I mean is like going back to like the peer checking each other constantly is like my initial reaction to a lot of scenarios in life is the like on 100 version of it that needs to be dialed back really, really badly. So like that's why I'm so blessed that I do social media, especially like with my brothers, because there's a lot of the times I catch myself and I'm just like, wow, he needs to relax. I'm glad you realized. That's like the best news I've ever heard. But I do enjoy it though. Like I enjoy it because sometimes I feel like there's so many things that me, Matt, and Chris like I really, really badly want to like post or talk about or do. And Matt and Chris are like, okay, just like calm down because you're being irrational. Yes. Yeah. Or things that you just like everything. Like for me, it's like I could, like if I wasn't with you guys, I'd be like. This is another thing that we talk about, like being sober. Me, Matt, and Nick are completely sober. And I think about like shit just simply growing up in high school. Without Nick and Matt, I for sure would have like drank or smoked or done some sort of drugs in my life, like guaranteed. 100%. Like I have no doubt in my mind that if I didn't have you two also being sober and like cause that's what I think like I think of like when I raise kids, like if I have an only child or like or people that are also only childs right now. Like, it must be so hard to truly do what you have faith in and believe in as an only child. Because, I agree. Like, I think if you're an only child going to, like, a party or something and you're getting peer pressured and you don't have, like, a friend that's also sober or, like, a brother that's also sober, you're far more likely to fall into something that you don't actually enjoy doing. And that's why, like, I'm, like, being a triplet, I'm so grateful because, it like, when you're with people, and it's more than just like a brother shit, it's more of like a friend shit too. Like, agreed. Surround yourself with friends and people that like fully are on the 100% like same page as you, and even if they're not, guide you to keep you on your
there's not a lot of people like that in the world anymore, especially nowadays. So if you do have somebody that
keeps you in check,
exactly, puts you in your place, this one right here puts me in place a lot. You need that because without that influence on your life, God knows what you're going to do.
Because usually that person has either gone through that broken path already. So it's like they already experienced that pain or whatever trials or tribulations. So they're trying to steer you away from it. Of course, they can't be perfect and steer you from all of them. But their job is just to not be a yes man.
Of course.
And basically just say yes to everything. Like, you need that person that's just going to tell you no when the idea is completely trash. Like, you need someone that can give you that constructive criticism and let you know when you're wrong. and call you out for it. Because if not, you're just two dangerous people, essentially. One's an enabler and one's a doer that's just going to do whatever the enabler says to do.
So thank you for putting me in check. I'll give you big credits. It's in a slightly different scenario, but
yeah,
he
don't think put me in check is like
no.
something crazy.
No, but you do help me realize a lot of stuff, and I don't know if I appreciate you enough for that. So
no, it's
get yourself a Jalen, but not mine. He's mine. I'm sorry, he's taken. Get someone like him. Get someone like the triplets, because I know they won't steer you wrong. I'm about to cry. They're not gonna steer you wrong.
It's like, I agree with that, but I also think it's more of like a respect thing. Of
I
like,
agree.
You and your friend could be polar opposite of like they drink leisurely for fun and you are completely sober, but as long as you respect their decision and they respect yours, and neither of them like combat with each other to the point where like you're always arguing,
then you're good.
Yeah.
Like we have friends that have been like stoners, and the friends that like drink alcohol, and it's like I've got absolutely no problem with those types of people at all, because who am I to tell somebody what
It's
to
just
do?
respect others around you and what they want to do, and don't be a fucking like annoying motherfucker.
Don't be a
when it comes to
dweeb.
Other people not wanting to do shit.
Oh my god, yo, sorry we're pausing a lot, but dude,
this is a great podcast.
It is a great podcast, but I hated those people that would just like continuously try to get that person to do something, and you see that person that doesn't want to do it completely uncomfortable.
Stop with the peer pressure, y'all. We're not doing this in 2023 or at any other point.
Like, cut it out. Like,
we are all getting old each and every day. Cut that shit out.
Just respect the person's decision. Like, they don't want to drink. They don't want to smoke. No, they don't want to do anything with you.
Nobody owes you anything.
Yeah, exactly. This world don't owe you anything. So for you to try and shame that person because they don't want to do something that you deem is cool or would make them cool, like, you're just a jerk, bro. Just
we could get into a whole tangent on that, but we're not going to do that right now. It's fine.
Fuckers that care so much about what you do is like the biggest, like, it's the biggest red flag like across the board ever. And I feel like it's honestly
like if I use napkins instead of paper towels because I have a fucking irrational fear of paper towels, mind your business.
I genuinely think it has to be like, I genuinely think sometimes peer pressure, the people that do peer pressure others, have to feel insecure about what they're doing as themselves. If you're genuinely peer pressuring someone into a negative scenario, you're weird. I understand peer pressure in like a positive light. Like, I don't think peer pressure has to always be negative.
Well, that's not like peer pressure. That's more of like a guidance.
Yeah,
peer pressure is like negative.
I think like negative peer pressure, like forcing someone to do something. Like, I think there's nothing more.
Say it.
Literally, like, you're a complete fucking loser.
You're scum. No, you are.
You're just trying to force
you're scum.
people onto the bad habits like that you have. It's like you're just a fucking loser, and like you don't want to see anybody do. You don't want to see like the
if you're losing, you want people to lose with you.
Misery loves company.
You can't win and like bring your friends with you. Like, if you're losing, you're pulling them all down.
Yeah,
you know?
Agreed.
I feel like that's like, just to sum it up.
That's a good phrase.
The beautiful thing about being triplets,
and like, bro, groceries was always one trip.
That's
always.
I don't think I've done. Mom got like 3 cases of water. It's like, bro,
I still one trip.
Like,
I think
that was like the setup for. Well, like, you gotta keep in mind, we had us 3, we had Justin, we had Mom, and we had Dad. Dude, yeah, I'm putting Justin on blast. He didn't really never help with the groceries. He did not.
No, it's all the smoke.
But also another thing, like, going back to it really, really quickly and briefly, is like just getting it out there. Is I really do think that us being triplets really set us up for like being sober and being who we are. I almost burped and I went like, I heard it. There it is.
Okay.
But we like, it helped us stay sober because of the fact that like our parents obviously encouraged us to be sober, and then like us, I feel like going out, I was always with you two, and like obviously because we're a family, I'd look at you guys and like see Mom and Dad. So it's like, if our friends were out like drinking and like they were like, oh, do you want to drink? I'd be like, the thing for like helping me stay sober is looking at you guys and like seeing my parents, then remembering them. Like, you know what I mean? Also, like, when I got my license, I used that as very much of like a safety thing for myself. So if I was out smoking and drinking and then driving drunk or I thought you were saying, you said that like it happens. I'm like, you've never gone out smoking and drinking. No, I'm like I'm saying like the scenario. Like, if I were to go out and like drink or smoke and drive high and drive drunk, I would, like, that's not why I would want to, like, I wouldn't do that because the driving was my safety thing, you know?
I don't think I'm following that. It's
You
like
get
when Matt had his license, it gave him more of a reason to maintain being sober,
Sober.
so that he didn't want
Okay.
to be like,
Got
that
it,
was
got
it,
my
got it, got
it, got
road
it.
liability.
Yeah, it was just the way he
Yeah.
phrased it.
Drunk once again. It's like Uber exists. There's no excuse to be driving drunk
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like so dangerous. Like
I
one of the
agree.
most dangerous things ever.
Mhm.
I 100%
All right,
agree.
next topic about being a triplet. Constant comparison and how that affected us. I think constant
Comparison.
comparison is like,
Mm.
especially with me being gay, is like,
It's kind of ironic.
I'm not gonna lie. I forget that he is gay at times.
I mean, I know
Because
that
I
he's
don't
not,
I don't
like,
view I don't use
boasting.
that. Yeah, he doesn't boast about it, and I don't use that as a way to define his character.
No, Nick is Nick.
Like,
That's all.
yeah, Nick is Nick. Like, I go kiss a man. I don't care at the end of the day, but I don't use him being gay as like that is Nick. Like
No.
when I first think of
No.
Nick, I think of someone that's intelligent, someone that's funny, someone
He
that's
makes
very articulate,
very valid points on
very
all that stuff.
valid points, someone that is witty and quick to like just come up with something that's funny
Yeah.
to snap back at one of the brothers. Like, gay is not on that list of things, but yeah.
Mhm.
yeah.
Sorry, we're
not
pausing a
like
lot.
you're-
We're really into this
No,
podcast.
I think it's like I'm saying like,
Can I drink the rest of
constant
that?
comparison.
You mean this?
Just because we're triplets is like getting compared to one another, like how I look at it is like if you have 3 friends, right? How often do you get compared with your 3 friends? Like not that often, but
Mhm.
when you're a triplet, you get compared to each other at least once every single day
Yeah.
that I
Yeah.
have been alive.
And I think
And no, hold on, let me
No,
go.
cook.
Okay, but I feel like fuck. Now you distracted me. But what I'm saying is
No.
like, go.
Nick, stop. Let him.
I'm
Hold on.
interested.
Hold
But-
on.
He forgot what he's talking
I
about.
think that us
Oh, there we
being
go.
constantly compared, obviously being triplets gives people more of a reason to want to do that because we're like super similar. So it's like they want to figure out like, oh, let's like just compare them, like what's different, what
Mhm.
blah, 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 whatever, all this shit. But I feel like constant comparison with us 3 is like us 3 don't feel as like triplet. Oh my god, like I need to,
Yes. Oh,
then
that's
people
so
think. You
smart,
know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I feel like people think that us 3 are like so triplet, like
Yeah.
like we shower together, fucking
Mm.
eat dinner together,
Oh.
like
I think it's because
Oh.
triplets are such a unique thing, and people aren't triplets. When they see us, they're kind of just like in this light of like, oh my god, like if they were a triplet, like what would they capitalize on their tripletism for the day? You know?
Hmm,
Like,
okay.
if I was a triplet tomorrow and I had 2 more of me, what could I do to make the best out of being a triplet? And I think that's what
I
people think
wouldn't
like,
even
every
know.
single day.
Yeah.
I think that we
when
think
in
every
reality
day.
we're like, okay, this is normal.
Like I wake up Nick Sterniola and then like my second thought is that I'm a triplet. You know what I mean?
Yes. I don't
It's
think
not,
that I'm
like,
a triplet. Like,
I've never.
once.
No, I'm just saying like obviously it's
Yeah.
like I don't think like oh triplet. I just think it's more of like my first thought initially is who am I?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then it branches
And
off
that,
into
There you
like,
go.
oh,
that's what I'm saying,
Okay.
like, when you're
People.
constantly compared, us 3 are different. Like we have different music tastes. Nick's gay. Fucking. We have different like favorite foods. We're allergic to
Absolutely.
different things.
Absolutely.
We're fucking.
We have
Like,
different interests.
we have different interests
hobbies.
and like so it's like when shit like that, it's like
Well-
getting constantly compared, like especially growing up when you're young, it makes you feel, and this is definitely something Nick's gonna talk more about, it makes you feel like left out kind of, or like more of like questioning on your own being.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, bro, motherfuckers were like asking us at like 8 years old, like when me and Matt are playing hockey, they're like, oh, why don't you play? Why don't like you stick out by
Yeah.
not playing or shit
Yeah.
like if when I grew my hair out when I was younger, like I
Yeah.
had the first like we always used to get just buzz cuts, and then I was the first one to have long hair. Like, oh,
Mhm.
why'd you grow out your hair?
Yeah.
Like it makes you
Mhm.
feel like you're like fucking crazy.
And
yeah.
I think another thing with like constantly being compared is kind of like if you think about it, like the number one thing, and people are like, oh, social media is like I know this isn't really about social media and it's more about like just being triplets, but the number one thing in the world when people are saying like why social media is negative on people's mental health is because like most of the
Do
time
you, bro?
it's teen girls comparing themselves to other teen girls on the internet, and like the fact that like the beauty standard online is so fake to like actual reality of like what people look like, and that's why it's like we've had like those I feel like constructs of like what to do and what to look like and constantly being compared to each other against each other like our entire life.
Yeah, it's just like
it's
it's
just like
too much
people forced
constant-
us 3 into like a competition of like we never wanted to like there was never a competition. I don't think I ever felt like I was competing with
I
you
agree.
and Matt, but like obviously I was heavier than you guys like the entire beginning of our life. You know what I mean?
So it was like being like not even like people necessarily saying it, but like being heavier and then both of you being skinnier than I was. It's just like an immediate thing of like we are literally triplets. We were born at the same time. People think that we do everything together, and it would like confuse me as to like why do I have to be the one that's like 20 pounds more than mine?
Okay.
No, that was a genuine thought. Why do I have to be the one that's fucking 20 pounds heavier? Because it's like, oh, that's awesome.
I'm not laughing at you.
No, I know you're not laughing. I just think it's like a general thing of like it became like.
Well, I am laughing.
No, I love humor. But it used to be like a constant comparison of every single way and every single thing ever, because also like
that must suck.
Being gay as well, and then realizing that it took me a while to like like people comparing us all the time and making us feel like we were so similar confused me to when I started like having like initial like hints in my mind that I was gay and like what that like the development in my brain to be able to process that. I thought while I was going through that, there was no way that you and Matt also weren't. Yeah. Like when I was doing that, I was like, oh, are we all gonna be gay? Like, let's see how this goes. You know what I mean?
No.
Turns out we're not. But I was like when you're starting to have those thoughts and feelings, and people are comparing you the same your entire life, you immediately think that your two siblings who you've constantly been compared to are also going through that. Yeah. So like my brain starts developing and changing like that. I was like, why am I the only one doing this? I feel like with like the whole comparison thing too, it's like the second it's like, oh, if we all shaved our head, it's like, oh wow, I can't tell who's who, this and that, and like comparing us together to see who looks like. But then the second one of us, like Chris said, he grew out his hair first, and then like if like Chris grew out his hair and then you started getting tattoos, it's like, oh, but why doesn't he grow out his hair and why doesn't he get tattoos? Yeah. So like either way, whether we all look alike,
someone's gonna talk shit regardless. It's just what it
still
is.
Being compared to what it just also or what shouldn't, and it's just weird.
What you said just reminded me to like go back way back of one of my least favorite fucking things about being a triplet is when motherfuckers in public genuinely make us like all stand right next to each other and then just all look at us like zoo animals. Oh my god, you're triplets. No way, we're the other ones. And they make you fucking gather as a
and then
group.
just stand
No,
there.
I remember literally,
let me look at you. Get together.
Like you're an
and
exhibit
they,
or
like, fucking
something.
Examine you.
And then you like we just stand there like this, and then they never do anything about it. Like they never.
Yeah. And then they're like, oh yeah, I got it. Matt, Nick, Chris, and they're wrong.
No. And they like,
you were right. Okay.
Jesus, that happened so many times. Damn.
The fucking worst.
People. Another thing that used to like kill me, that was so annoying, is people used to just pick like 3 character traits and kind of just like assign them off the bat. Like, who's the smartest? They'd see triplets and be like, oh, like who's the smartest one? Who pulls all the girls? Yeah. Who does it? Who does it? And then like they genuinely like wait for an answer, and it's just like, why could we not all be all smart? The bitches. Oh. Well, yeah. So whatever. You know. And I agree. Like, why could we not all be smart? Why could we not?
Why does it have to be someone that's the top of the group? Right.
Yeah. Literally. I think we all sing. You know what I'm talking about? That fucking funny ass thing. Okay. All right. Next. I think we all. What was I gonna say?
No, fucked up.
No, it's just like I don't know. Constant comparison was definitely a battle.
I feel like constant comparison is just bad in an overall term with anything. Like if you're constantly comparing yourself and what you do to other things, even when it comes down to like a project, like if you're making something and you constantly compare it to other things that exist, you're never gonna create something authentic and real.
But I think like so real. I think like
also, everything in real life too.
It also started to like affect like.
Like, there's that word you wanted to use that starts with a D that
I don't know, because it seems like such an aggressive word for it, but I always I said in the conversation when me and Chris were talking about it, like the word dehumanizing, and I know that that's used in like it's like a very, very strong word.
Yes.
But it
shoot, I've heard Logic
like,
use it.
I googled it because I'm like, is this word like really like what does it mean? Because I want to be educated about it before I say it out loud, and it genuinely is just like someone stripping the values of like you feeling like a human being.
It just makes you feel like you're not enough on your own when it comes to
triplet
shit.
That was a major thing of like when me, Matt, and Chris were constantly being compared to each other, and like the glory that you feel like when you're a triplet and like these people like coming up to you like being like, oh my god, there's 3 of you, like that's insane. It's like if I go into a store alone and like people don't notice that I'm a triplet,
they wouldn't know.
Kind of just like having like such a high of like being a triplet and people being amazed by that, going around alone and then kind of having nothing because people don't know that you're a triplet, just looking at you alone, it kind of just like makes you realize that like the only time value in us is together. And like the only time that like people would like see us and be like, oh my god, but it's like when we're all us 3 together. But
that sucks. Because then that means like one person really can't just be themselves. Like you have to see. I think this is what they're saying. Like you could only see them being with each other, never by themselves, and then they don't feel as special as if they were,
Right.
Like,
no, I get you.
If they weren't triplets, like they wouldn't feel special, is what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because,
society is so annoying.
Exactly, and society has kind
sometimes.
of like
judgmental.
It's hurt them. It's hurt them a little bit.
They're damaged because of that, and I'm proud. I know we're both proud, but I'm proud that you guys are taking a stand and you guys are just being authentic and true to yourselves and not letting anybody get in the way. And that's what a lot of people need to learn, including myself, including you. We just all need to just
do your own thing. Listen, regardless of what you do, someone's always going to compare you to something. Someone's always going to hate you, whether you have money or don't have money, have this or don't. People are that's just the way that the world is. So if they're going to hate you regardless, just do you. People are going to look at you weird. People are going to, say that you're not normal because you're not doing what they're doing.
Don't listen to any of them. You gotta stay true to yourself, like we had mentioned earlier. It's storming like crazy over here.
Yeah, we don't know if you guys can hear it or not. But,
it's so loud.
But moral of the story, just do you, regardless of whoever's watching you or not watching you. At the end of the day, it's your life. You only got one chance to do this thing. And when you're gone, you're gone. You don't get to come back. You don't get to redo anything. So live your life to the fullest. Live the best life you possibly can. So
don't let anybody hurt you, y'all, ever. I'm talking to all my girlies and all the boys and men out there. Don't let anybody do that.
But if like they're just walking by one of us, it's like whatever. Which was then difficult for like I feel like making friends and stuff because it's like you then don't like I don't know. I feel like having so much like joy and like people being so excited about you being a triplet, it kind of made it seem like if I was like alone at a friend's house, I'd be like, wow, I wonder if they're like enjoying their time with just me or if they're
that was my like that's what we were trying to say.
I used to always be scared of like, and then like, am I here just because this person like fucks with Nick today or like but then also like finally when we would get to hang out with someone completely alone, like I remember going to a friend's house and I'd be like, why me? Like I'm like, I agree. How does this person see any value in me as an individual here? I was invited here alone. It's such a weird thing because like I feel like we're bitching about like something that's so awesome. To be honest, like being triplets and shit. It has its pros and its cons within everything, and I feel like whenever people
into the mic,
I feel like whenever people think of like being a triplet, they can think there's no like harm in like all that type of stuff. When like it's not like people do anything on purpose, but like certain things like the comparisons and like all that just make the other ones feel some type of way about. It just makes growing up. It made growing up confusing because I feel like a lot of the times too, like when you're an only child. If you spend, or like even, I keep saying only child, but like triplets is so unique that even if you have siblings, but say like your sibling's like 3 years older than you or 3 years younger than you, you're not like sharing a room, you're not sharing the same class. Like if you're in like 6th grade and they're in high school already, like you're living 2 different lives, you have different friend groups.
Right.
Like when you're a triplet, you have the same friends, you have the same friend group, you're doing the same thing, you're in the same classes in school. Like, so triplet is like the age. It's like one, it's siblings, but it's also like your siblings, and like the world is structured for you to have the same experiences. Yeah, and as weird as it sounds, I honestly like when people have like a favorite triplet. If that makes any sense. I love it honestly. Yeah, like well, it's not even like a favorite, but it's like one that they can understand. They get along with more. It's not even like a favorite. It's more of like we have friends currently that we've made in the past year that it's like they love us all equally, but like I made the friend and like we have a bond that like. Like I'll use like fucking Nathan's a bad example because he was all of our friend at once. But Nathan met Nick first, met me and Matt after, and he appreciates all of us as individuals. Yeah, he'll have moments where he'll like get along with Matt more, get along with Nick more, get along with me more. Johnny's a great example where it's like Johnny Ransom is a great friend to all 3 of us, and I know he appreciates all 3 of us individually. But him and Matt relate more, and I feel like it's honestly cool when like one of us 3 can relate with one of the friends more instead of feeling like
they all have to relate.
I used to hate when we would hang out with people and it would just feel like they're with like the triplets and like they don't fuck with like any individual. I think even Maddie, like since Maddie we're with constantly, she's in a position where like I feel like she's with us more than any of our other friends. So it's like she has such a strong ability to be able to like hang out with us as a group but still make us feel like individuals within being like 100%. With a group. That's like what it is, bro. Like when you hang out, like if like the one thing I notice in friends and making friends is like, does this person actually see interest in like
being friends with all of us for who we are and understand that we're all different people.
Yeah.
Like, and then especially with like just including us three, like when they can tell that like someone is like, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I sound like a baby.
You're good.
But
You're
I'm, like,
you're
you're
good.
me, but like no, like literally, like it's truly like just a cool feeling when you can relate to like one of
I agree.
like your friends. And it's like we all know that like I might relate with someone more about this because we're different fucking humans.
Yeah.
It's honestly like if you dumb down this whole episode, it's like we're triplets and we fucking have the same exact life experiences and we grow up together and we experience a lot and we've always done shit together. But at the end of the day, we're still our own humans.
Yeah.
Our own thoughts.
Yep.
Understood the
Like,
assignment.
what's
I
the
understand.
next topic? Does anybody have it?
Hivemind.
The
Yeah.
hive mind is crazy.
I always use Hivemind from Stranger Things as like the example of like, if you haven't seen Stranger Things, there's like, well, I'm not gonna fucking explain Stranger Things.
I'll explain it.
Okay.
In a brief setting. There's an enemy in Stranger Things, the fucking Mind Flare, and he operates things like he can take over humans and then he can like run their mind. But then if like one of these motherfuckers get like hit with like if Lucas hits them with a firework and they burn or something, the whole structure of it feels it. Like the hive mind is like it's like if your brain was in 100 different people, and if one of those people got smacked, all 100 bodies would feel it because they have the same brain.
I don't even know if it's feeling it, but like would be aware of it.
Yes.
Yeah. Like if someone was like literally getting punched in the face and they were like a part of it, like
they're
everyone,
like, oh no, like
everyone would
my
know.
like person is getting hit, and they're like they are aware of that.
So that's why I put down Hivemind, because I think that that's a perfect way to like people think we work. We're like, sometimes I feel like people will tell me something and then they'll go up to Chris and bring it up and he'll have no idea what they're talking about, but they think we have like this hive mind connection that like the moment they told me, it like entered Chris's knowledge.
Yeah.
You know?
That shit's always so funny to me, where it's like it's honestly
it's funny when
kinda
motherfuckers get
upset by it.
Yeah.
Like mom, I used to call mom motherfuckers, but like that was actually terrible wording and terrible introduction
terrible
to
setup.
Yeah, terrible setup. But like with mom, like mom will come up to me and be like, oh, well, honey, like, I made you dinner. And I'll be like, oh, awesome. And I'll eat, like, 2 tacos, and then I'll go to the bathroom. And then Nick will be like, Mom, I'm hungry. He's like, she's like, I told you, like, I made dinner. Like, dinner's been ready. And Nick's just like, no, I had no fucking clue dinner. I only told Chris.
When it's like, when it has terrible. The thing that's funny with me is, or funny to me is, like, when it's, like, having to be places, or, like,
oh, my God, yeah.
It's, like, 5:30. On Friday, we have to all be at fucking so-and-so's house, right?
And they'll only tell you.
And then, like, one of us know, and it's like where one of us is, like, getting dressed and ready, and then it's just like, oh, what are you guys doing? Like, we got what? It's like, oh, I had no idea until right this second. That's the funniest. Like, I love being sarcastic that it's actually real. Like, Matt was literally getting ready once and, like, settling. He's like, I'm waking up at 10 tomorrow morning. I'm like, what, you got plans or something? He goes, yeah, we have to be at blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, I had no fucking clue. Yeah. Like, that's just always, like,
thanks for the info.
Yeah.
People that think that, I don't know, bro. Like, I remember when we were playing sports growing up, motherfuckers thought we had, like, a cheat code. Like, we'd all be on the ice together, and they'd be like, oh, is it easier? Because, like, you can tell where your brother's going to be on the ice.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Like,
what are you talking about?
I don't have fucking telepathy.
Yeah, like I'm not Jesus. I can't fucking
telepathy.
tell. I'm not with everybody in the rink. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Getting noticed in public.
Oh, my God.
Like prior followers.
YouTube.
Well, like, it's just honestly the popularity of being a triplet. It was just weird, bro. Like
a good example of this recently is in Hawaii. Well, I feel like we kind of have to, like, before we even tell an example, it's kind of like what we're kind of talking about right now is like the popularity of being a triplet, or like getting noticed in public, is like, since there's 3 of you and it's like such an amazing fact to some people. People always often ask us because, like, we blew up on social media in, like, under a year and then started to get, like, noticed in public by people who are fans of us. So people are like, how are you adapting to, like, this whole new thing of, like, people coming up to you in public and, like, asking to take a photo, and, like, how does that for you? And the reason it's,
Let Matt explain it.
Yeah. So I feel like I'm going to say the example first because I feel like it's easier to say what we're thinking after the example. I disagree, but that's fine. But so when we were in Hawaii recently for Maddie's birthday trip, we went into a Cinnabon shop, and we go in there, and the lady starts, like, freaking out. She's like, oh my God, this is crazy, blah, blah, blah. And we obviously have a following on YouTube now, so we're like, immediately gonna think it's like, oh, she's like either has a daughter that's a fan of us, or she like has watched our videos herself.
Of course, yeah.
So we go in there, she's freaking out, and then she's like, oh my god, triplets! I've never seen triplets in real life before. This is crazy. Like she basically like just was like, oh, Matt, Nick, Chris, like met us. We told her her name, all that. Took the picture, and she has a picture with us on her phone because we're triplets and not because of the fact that we're social media creators.
Mind
And
blown.
she'll probably never know. Yeah, and but it's like stuff like that happened our entire life growing up in like a small city, and then like we every time we play sports, if there's like twins on the other team, and then it's like I remember like we did a kickball tournament once, and there's twins on the team. And it's like we're taking pictures as like the triplets and
all
twins
the
on the team, and
multiples,
it's like yeah, and it's just like people would always want us to take pictures with like other sets of twins, or us to take pictures with them to be like, you'll never believe it, I met triplets today. So it's like when we talk about like popularity of being triplets, it was more of like everybody in our city like kind of knew that there were triplets in this grade, and like
it's
your
just like
triplets
kind
in
of
this
so
high school.
insane because it makes us seem like way more important or valuable than we are, and I don't like talking about it in like a sense of like cool.
Oh my gosh, like they're so
cool and unique, but it was more just like generally because it's such a bizarre, wild thing, people were very like intrigued by it always. Like, it was kind of like an underlying factor of like, oh, those are triplet siblings.
Yeah. I think like even like in high school, like I knew like every student at our school like knew who we were,
At least one of us.
for the sole reason of us being triplets. Like even if they weren't like friends with us, they're like, oh, like that's the motherfucker that like the clones. Like,
Yeah.
the
I remember
clones.
being called the clones by people that didn't know like who we were or never
Well,
met
I
us.
feel like a crazy thing is like the fact that like going into high school was wild because we went to like a smaller middle school. So when we were at the high school, there were so many new people that people used like if Chris started a new class and he made a friend that me and Matt weren't in the class, people would go up to like me or Matt in the hallway and be like, hey, how are you? Like, nice to see you. And then we'd have to like at the end of the day all like get together and be like, oh, someone with like curly hair, glasses, like 4'7" went up to us and said like, oh, hi, how are you?
and then
at,
Matt
like,
be like,
fourth
oh,
period.
that's fucking.
Oh, that's so and so from my drumline class or something.
Yeah.
You know, like you'd have to like break down like
That was always fun.
That was
Damn.
always so funny because it's like because then it's funny when they address you by name and you have to go with it because it's like a brief moment. In the
Damn.
hallway. Like, you'll be like, hey Nick, and walk right by me. I'm like, and then it's funny because
sometimes
like,
it's
easier
easier
than that person will meet all three of us, but they won't remember that time that they were incorrect. They'll just be like, oh, that's cool, like, and they'll think that that's the first time that they're
Sometimes
ever talking
it's easier
to
to
us.
like go along with it and just say hi and pretend that you're one of the
it's
other
way
siblings.
easier.
and go
So
along
easy.
with it.
So
Yeah, of
easy.
course.
Just happen.
I do that all the time, like still to this day.
all the time. Yeah.
Like even at, like at a meet and greet, some girl called me Nick, and I was like, she's like, hey Nick. I was like, what's up? I'm like,
Like, I wasn't gonna be like, yo, I'm not.
It's
I think,
second nature
the
now.
funniest story Chris ever told me was when he went to Target once and he was walking around and some kid went up to him and asked him if he was Sterniolo triplets, and he goes, nah, but I'm one of them.
Yeah,
Just,
that shit was.
this kid runs up to me and I was alone.
I'm not alone.
I don't know.
It wasn't in a Target. I think it was outside a car. I think I was like getting in a car.
Either way, you were.
Yeah, this kid runs up to me. He goes, "Oh my god, bro, you're Sterniolo triplets." I was like, "I'm not Sterniolo triplets. I'm one of them, though." But
Yeah.
yes.
That
Damn.
was funny.
That
to
shit
me,
was
'cause,
so
like, he has
funny.
no idea.
Are
which...
you the Sterniolo triplets? I go, "No, bro, I'm not."
It's giving
I'm
the
only
same
one.
energy
I'm
as
only
like
one.
the Krusty Krab, the Patrick Star thing.
No,
Like
no.
is this the Krusty Krab? That he hangs up the phone. I love that clip.
Yeah,
so
that's a
much.
great one.
But that was funny.
Yeah.
When did you guys first realize like, oh fuck, we're triplets?
Oh.
Like you're like, damn. I think it was like.
I think like honestly, holidays for me.
No.
Like seeing the
Oh,
fluctuation.
well, for you. Sorry, I said no, as if like.
of like
can't
just
have
like,
our opinion.
like mom and dad went stupid on holidays. Like
Yeah,
we were
Christmas was
blessed.
insane.
Like Christmas, the amount of presents there were like under the tree, but like not even really Christmas. It's more of the things that come in like little numbers, like that is particular to you on a holiday.
Like stockings, like there's
Yeah,
being,
like
like
3
4 of 'em.
stockings, and then like all like
Okay,
4 Easter
like in
baskets
bunches,
for all
okay.
3 of us and Justin. Like seeing that, and I'm like, wow, like there's really one for each of us, and like we're all the same age, and this is all our like first Easter, all our second Easter.
I think-
like that shit. Like I think it was holidays for me.
I think the shit that made me realize it was like
on weekends when you didn't have school, so you weren't seeing 100 different kids every day.
Yeah.
But like on the weekends, we were still with each other at our house. I was like, okay, there's something like this isn't school, but there's kids here that like what is like what for him to say no, for me saying like holidays and then say that
come
like,
up with like the
I
weekend.
Feel like, no, because that's true.
Every weekend y'all wouldn't leave your home.
Yeah. Okay, is that not reasonable? I feel like it's very unreasonable. Yeah, it's strange. Like eating cereal together, sitting on the floor, watching TV.
Oh,
that's when I was like, okay.
I feel like
at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes. Put like the same clothes on and like all.
Basically, what Matt is trying to say is throughout the weekday he can understand them being at the house because school, whatever. But when it hit the weekend, in his mind, he believed that they should have been gone. But them not leaving because they're his brothers, it was like, oh, like we're really
together.
We're friends. Like we're a lit friend group. Like we're the friend group that's tightly core, and then we have everyone else surrounding us as friends. So
outside, and it'd be like, bro, like why the fuck are these two identical?
I feel like he was just like also going to
kindergarten.
kindergarten. Like once we were getting in school and like being seen by tons of people, just the amount of like. Bro,
I know what that's
exactly
not true at all.
Okay, whatever.
You said that like us being triplets in school,
whatever.
And then
going here it goes,
and not going to school, but still being together is what did it for you. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying once we were at school and people were like, "Oh, like you guys look so much alike. Like you are like, are you guys triplets?" And then we'd have to be like, "Oh yeah, we are." Like. That's when it was.
Well, I didn't realize being a triplet was this crazy fucking thing for some people.
I did.
They would go like, "Oh my god, are you triplets?" I'd be like, "Yeah, calm down." Like,
I
don't know why you're excited about
I agree.
this.
I feel like it was like for the first before you got to school, it was just like this is how every day is gonna run. Because it is kind of crazy.
Like when people go to you like, "Oh my god, you're triplets," it's almost like they were like congratulating you or like awarding you for something you did. When it's like I simply had. Did you guys have any control?
I was just born like
this.
Yeah,
you had no control.
I was like, I don't
being selected you two as my brothers.
I'm like, that's like crazy. All
right,
stop it. Were we one zygote or three?
Nick, bro, fucking
dog,
what?
I have no idea.
Like,
you know what I mean? Like a
Google
zygote, like in like the womb. Like, is it one and then it like splits, or is it like
what the fuck's the zygote?
Growing up in the same like, PG, it's not PG. I'm not gonna talk about
Google it. It doesn't matter if it's PG or not. Just.
I feel like it doesn't matter, and I feel like we have no way of figuring that out. No way of figuring that out, motherfucker. We don't live in Bethlehem. Like, we can Google it.
I'm honestly serious.
We have no access to the internet.
I feel like Bethlehem is a bad response. I feel like Bethlehem modern day has Google. You have to say something like about the past.
What? Bethlehem.
Like this
is not Vikings. All right,
Yeah.
we're gonna switch this topic here. What were the pros of cons of never pros and cons? Correct. I was disagreeing with what you previously said.
Pros of cons.
Yeah,
okay,
I know what you were supposed
pros
to say.
Pros and
cons of never being
pros and.
It's not pros of cons.
Pros of cons is crazy. What
Thank
the
you
heck?
for listening about what our life is like off camera this week. We are so thankful for you guys. And
I love this.
Super excited to talk about more about what our life is like off camera every episode. So we will see you next week.
And if you don't know us, I'm Chris
podcast.
Cerniolo, one of the 3 Cerniolo triplets.
I'm Matt Cerniolo. I'm Nick Cerniolo. And goodbye, campers, and we'll see you next week on the Cut the Camera podcast. Peace.
Cut the camera.
Here, hold on. Ew. And then we're gonna hit. Oh, we already subscribed. I'm proud of this.
It wouldn't be a video if he didn't do the sound. Listen, this was. Gotta clap it up, man.
Wow.
That was a great first episode into the podcast. It felt really good to just engage and be able to be a part of the conversation. And this is what I love about their content. Like it's so easy to just get into a conversation and just add to it.
This is honestly the first podcast I've ever been like. I'm gonna start being like really committed to this because I've said that I've wanted to get into podcasts, but I love how we could not even that we relate. Obviously, we're not triplets, but a lot of the topics they were saying, I'm like, oh damn, like I understand
because
where you're coming from.
We've watched it.
Exactly.
We've watched twins for the most part. I've watched twins or triplets go through the corny stuff like like if you get hit. So we've watched it even though it wasn't our life.
But I just I'm just gonna end it off with me enjoying the realism and authenticity of the, yes, I got a lot of big words today, of this video. So I am very, very, very interested to hear what other topics they have. And honestly, I feel like this is the most like not ever, but the most interactive in a while. Like me and you have like talked about a certain topic.
Yeah.
You know, instead of ha ha ha, like it's funny, but we're getting into the nitty gritty of real life. Essentially, that's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
I love it.
To be honest with you guys, like,
be honest. What's up? Talk to us.
I never really like. I watch podcasts.
You do,
but I usually join them when they're like episode 300. Like they're already deep into their podcast career, have already talked about so much stuff. So to actually be a part of like the first episode, and I'm glad that we found the Stooges triplets when we did back in February,
of course,
when they were just doing their car videos and doing their challenges. Because imagine if we would have found them like next year.
You know how behind we would have been.
Yes, so I'm glad that we caught them at like the very beginning, and we get to enjoy it as it goes. Like this is one of their first things that we get to enjoy from the beginning.
Thank you to all our Stooges triplet supporters, lovers.
Yes.
Thank you for the introduction, because I think this is a nice refresh. Fresh love.
It is. Oh my god.
This was just a nice refresh on our life and like our perspective on things. At least for me, like I'm like talking about deep stuff like this. Honestly, I want to start talking deep like this in front of y'all and showing you guys that we're not all just jokes, that we can be real with you guys as well.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But this was, like I said,
that was awesome.
Great introduction into the podcast. I think they're going to do great with this podcast.
I do too.
You know, as long as you have things to talk about, it's always a good atmosphere. And if you could just keep a good atmosphere, it's going to be great. I have no worries or doubt about it. They're going to be all right.
We love you, triplets. We love you, Nick. We love you, Chris. We love you, Matt.
Yes.
All of y'all differently as well.
And once again, live your life. Don't allow anyone to stop you from doing your thing.
Yeah. If you guys do need some advice on anything, or just feel like you don't have anyone to talk to, like, please hit us in our DMs. Like, we are more than welcome to help just with any problems you guys have in life, or just anything that you want to just get off your chest. We are really good listeners. So hit us up in our Instagram or even TikTok, but you know, preferably Instagram. Those will be in the socials. Yeah. Please hit that like and subscribe button if you guys are new, or if you guys are returning, which a lot of you guys still aren't subscribed yet.
Yeah,
we are working on it, guys. Y'all need to, we're going to be doing more of this. So you guys need to keep up with like the Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? We love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. And also keep that post notification bell on. Please, please, please. That's all I had to say.
With that, we're out of here.
Peace. See you guys in the next one.